everyone, it's Kayla with the Celebration Company. Happy Tuesday. I hope you're having a great day. Today we're going to finish working on our elf. So we started yesterday working on this elf. We still have quite a ways to go, and I hope I can get it done today. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Basically, we've gotten him clothed somewhat. We've still got to do his hat, we got to do his ears, we've got to do his feet, and then his face, and any kind of embellishing that we're going to do as well. So, still have quite a bit to do, so we'll see how this goes. Hopefully we can get it done. When you hop on, say hello, let me know you're watching. I do want to remind you that today also we still have an additional 15% off the doll forms. So if you are interested in doing this, you want to go on and grab those. We have done use this doll form to make a scarecrow and also a gingerbread man, and I'm going to show you those tonight. So you want to check that out because you can make so many different things with this doll form, and it's just absolutely adorable. So he's coming along. He still has a ways to go, and I hope that hopefully we can get him done today. So we'll see. So we got to get into it. So again, when you hop on, say hello. Let me know you're watching. Hi, Linda. Hey, Dorothy. Hey, Cindy. Hi, Pam. Good afternoon. Hey, Larissa. Yay, I'm so glad you could join us today. Hey, Sue Ann. Hi, Danae. Hey, Jamie. Y'all, all right. So, I think we're going to do the hat next, and then we'll move on from there. I still got to do the collar. I got to do lots of things. So we'll see how this goes. But let's go on and do the hat. I think we decided we're going to do red. We're going to use the red felt to make the hat. So we will just, I'm going to just cut. I'm just gonna wing it. Okay, we're just gonna wing it, basically. So I'm gonna grab my scissors here. Hi, Lynn. Hey, Donna. Hey, Deanna. Hey, Dawn. Okay, so we're gonna wing it, and I don't really know what I'll do is just kind of take his head and just sort of, okay, so about that. So I'm gonna cut here, and I'm gonna cut it at a little bit of a curve. Not too much of a curve, but just a little bit. And then let's use his head again. Trish, please message us, and then we can help you with that. It's a lot easier if you message us. That way we don't forget, because it's possible that I could forget, and I don't want to forget. All right, let's see here. Do I want to just, I think I'm just going to gather it is what I'm going to do. Let's try cutting this way. Like that. And then I'm going to angle it in just a little bit. I don't really know what I'm doing, y'all. I'm totally winging this, okay? And I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Okay. So then if we put this on his head like that, and we wrap this around, this, okay. Thank you, Sue Ann. I'm going to cut this way. I'm going to cut this, clean that up. I feel like it's just kind of, you just have to kind of play with it. Clean this up here. Okay. All right, there we go. So now we've got something. Okay, I don't think it has to be perfect, does it? Need it to be perfectly cone shaped? What do y'all think? We're creating something like a cone shape here. I think we can do it. I'm going to cut right straight up the middle here. I haven't decided if I'm going to put hair on him or not. We're slowly just making somewhat of a cone-shaped hat. All right, let me just make sure this fits. Okay, it's gonna fit. All right, so I'm just gonna glue it together. So I'm leaving that folded there. And then we'll just take this and fold this over and glue that there. So I'm just gonna glue this edge. Fold that over. Glue like that. Okay. There we go. Trim this bottom up a little bit. Okay. All right. Now, I do want to stuff the hat because I want it to have that shape. I don't want it to be floppy necessarily like a Santa hat. I want this hat to have the shape to it. So I'm just going to use a little bit of cotton batting and stick it up inside. To make that shape. Thank you, Laura. Y'all, my shirt came from Cato's, believe it or not. All right, and then I'm just going to kind of put this on the head. Do I want it to be, it would help if I put it on the right side. Do I want it to be straight up or do I want it to be at an angle? And of course, we're going to put more embellishments on the hat, but I kind of like it like that. I'm going to go on and glue this down. Just going to take some hot glue, just around the edge, and glue it down. kind of angled, kind of not. All right. So then for embellishing the hat, we can add some green to it. So if we wanted to do like some green felt, I could do, let me just see what this looks like. If I cut, I don't know if it's gonna work or not. So I just want to kind of see. I'm gonna cut a strip about 2 inches wide. And then I want to cut zigzags into this strip. So I'm just going to cut some triangles out. To make this zigzag trim. Okay, so just like that. And then we'll see if this will wrap around the hat. I don't know if it will or if it's going to be a little wonky. So I was envisioning taking this just like this. Y'all, that is cute. I like that. That is cute right there. Okay, I'm going to cut this off here and we'll start right here in the back. I'm just going to add that right around the base of the hat. Okay, Tammy. And you'll just go all the way around, back to the back. All right. And then we'll just trim the excess, overlap it slightly. I'll have to get the lint roller out here in a little bit. All right. And there's the hat. So we've got to still add a little bit to it because there's still a bit of a rough edge. So I want to hide that. And then also we got to add something here to the top. So I'm not sure if I'm going to do a bell or if I'm going to do a pom-pom. But I want to see, do I want to use some rickrack to hide? Or do I want to use this white ribbon? I like the white ribbon. Let me see if I have any. Thinking some lime green ribbon might be pretty to use as a piece of trim so that it's not so different. and so it doesn't stand out so much. I think I like the green. I can even flip it over so that there's no polka dots. Which way do I like better? I think I like the polka dots. All right, so that's what I'm gonna do. So flip this over. And again, just go around. I'm going right on the bottom edge to just sort of hide the raw edge. So it looks finished. I just don't want to get it to get too busy, and I'm worried the rickrack is just going to start to be too much. The ribbon's a little bit more subdued, but still really cute. Okay, last little bit here. Just slightly overlap and then cut off the excess. All right, there we go. So that part's done. This little bit here I need to trim. A little bit of excess red sticking out. Okay, that's better. Alrighty. Alright, so now that we've done that, I'm going to do the zigzag around the collar. We're going to do red, and I'm going to see if I can do the straight edge just like I just did instead of having it rounded. That's what I was worried about, is does it need to be rounded? And we're going to do similar size. And you know, this ain't perfect, so don't fret about that. Thank you, Tammy. I may have to cut another piece. We'll see. All right, so just going to get in here and cut triangles. And I'm leaving about a ½ inch on the end. You could always get really technical with this if you wanted to, but I don't see why, because it doesn't have to be perfect. Thank you, Chrissy. Thank you, Paula. Y'all remember 15% off the forms today, the doll forms, an additional 15% off. So you can grab yours, you can make your own elf, you can make whatever you want. You can do a snowman, a gingerbread man, a Santa. You can do a scarecrow, all kinds of things. Okay, so let's see about the collar. So this is what I'm looking at here. It's a little wonky around the neck, but I think it's gonna work. I think we can make it work. That right there, oh my goodness. That makes it so much. Okay. Thank you, Brenda. All right, I'm gonna start right here in the front, and I'm just gonna kind of center this. I'm gonna center the point right over the middle of the top here. And this is just gonna cover all that up. Thank you, Teresa. Okay. So I'm just wrapping and just sort of pressing it in to the glue as I wrap it. Let's see here. Okay. So we'll get the back. All right, I'm just going to cut off the excess there. And then we'll just slightly overlap. All right, just like that. Okay. Y'all, it is starting to look like an elf. We are getting there. All right, next we're going to do the elf ears, which I really don't know how I'm going to do that. I'm going to just guesstimate on that one. And I think I'm just going to do just like a petal shape, I think. I'm going to grab a fabric pin right here. Thank you, Lane. Came from Cato's, but I went into 2 Cato's when we went shopping a couple of weekends ago, and this was the only one that I saw in both of those Cato's. All right, I'm gonna fold this in half. Just wanna make sure I'm not doing it too big. I don't know, y'all. All right, let's just see what happens. I'm gonna cut this out, see what happens. See, aren't they supposed to be pointed though? So I did something kind of we'll see. We will see here. Okay, so I folded this over. I'm going to go on and trace this on this piece here so that if I like this, I can replicate it. And I'm just using a piece of like a cream colored felt, something pretty similar to okay. I feel like that works. It just has to be more like this type of a shape. And then the flat end goes on the side of the, he's fine. I can tell that he's fine. The flat side. Okay, so I'm gonna go on and cut the other one. I'm doing two because I think I'm gonna make them padded, or like I'm gonna do stuff them. Cut this one. Okay. All right. So we want to make sure we flip one, you know, they got to be mirrored or whatever. Okay. So I'm going to grab my hot glue gun and glue these together around the edge. I want to make sure I leave a little bit of a hole in the bottom so that I can stuff it. Trying not to put a ton of glue inside there, and just do a little bit around the edge so the glue doesn't take up a ton of real estate inside the ear, which will allow me to stuff it. Hey Pam. Okay. All right, so let me grab a little bit of stuffing. Not gonna need a lot here. Thank you, Diane. All right, stick this in here. Add a little bit more. Okay, and then I'm gonna seal this up. All right, here we go. Okay, then we're just gonna kind of adjust the batting a little bit. All right, and here's one ear. See you Thursday, Kayla. Bye, Annette. Thank you for your help today. All right. Stuff this one. A little bit more. All right. Here we go. Okay. I think we got it. This is a little bit coming undone right there. So is that. All right. I can't remember how I get this ink off. If I can heat it, if it's heat, I'm gonna make sure I don't melt my felt. Okay, the heat seems to be making it worse. I don't know. I don't remember how that ink comes off. Griffin starts back in a couple of weeks, Lynn. He still has a couple of weeks left. It's hard to believe that we are already, it's already time to go back. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is just sort of push this side of the ear, kind of push it in and put glue on that. And then just push that to the side of his face. And then one we'll do the same way. So I'm just kind of pushing it like that with the seam kind of going in. Oh my gosh, August the 1st? Wow. They probably got out earlier. All right. And then I'm basically doing it right on the seam. There's a seam right on the side. Okay, we're getting there. Y'all know I'm gonna save the face for last. I can't help it. Okay, let's do the shoes next. Okay, we're gonna do the shoes in green and we'll do red accents on the shoes. So here's my plan for the feet. I'm gonna take my green felt and I'm gonna put my foot right on my felt. Thank you, Brenda. And I'm just gonna sort of trace around. I am not going right up against it though. Giving myself a little bit of extra space. Okay, so I'm tracing around. All right. So we have this. Can y'all see that? So I kind of know the shape that it needs to be, but we want it to be an elf shoe. So I'm going to start from the bottom here, and I'm just going to bring this up to a point, and then I'm just going to bring it back down and meet up with this other curve, okay? Can y'all see that? So here's where that original curve was, okay, right there. So I just started down here at the bottom, and I just brought it up like that, and then I just connected it back down to here, okay? So now we're gonna fold this. We need to cut 2 pieces, and then we'll trace it and we'll do the same thing again, just like we did for the ears. For this though, I am gonna take a few pins and just hold this together. Keep grabbing that little pin. And I'm going to cut, trying to decide. I think I'm going to use my pinking shears. I'm trying to decide if I want to do if I want to fold them, or I don't think I do. I think we're going to leave the seam exposed. I know, Lynn. All right, I'm cutting on the outside of my line. Okay. Here we go. That's looking like an elf shoe, isn't it? All right, let me see. I don't think this is going to be a big enough piece. It's super duper close, but I'm not willing to call it that close. So we'll fold another piece here.
Mama.
Yeah, baby.
Hold on, wait, I'll be right back. When is Daddy get? Oh crap! When is Daddy gonna be home?
He's gonna be calling it close, right at time to leave. Past time to leave, probably.
So we're gonna be late to football.
Right on time. All right, so when I cut this one, because I'm cutting on my cut edge, or I'm drawing on my cut edge, I want to make sure that I'm cutting on that cut edge, or on that edge that I'm drawing, and not on the outside. All right. Okay, so let's take some pins and we're just gonna hold this together. A bell is definitely going on the end of these shoes. I hope at least. Okay. So now I'm going to cut this out and I'm going to cut it right on that line instead of on the outside of it. This way we get the same size as the other one. All right, y'all, I hope this works. I really hope this works. Okay. So now we need to glue this together. So I'm just going to use my hot glue. Let me grab my, and we'll just go on and remove some of these. And we're just going to, right on the edge, we're just going to glue it together. Hey, Gloria. Hello, Marcia. What I should do is replace my nozzle with my precision tip for this, and I'll get a better line of glue. Now I got to remember to keep this part open because we got to have that open to put the shoe on the elf. Okay. Thank you, Lisa. All right. There we go. Now, I know that I want to stuff the end to make sure that it stays pointy. So we're just going to take a little bit of batting, and we got to get this into that. I might should let this cool a little bit before I do that. We're going to get it into this point here so that point stays nice and pointy. I hope that this is going to fit. All right. We're just fingers crossed. We're going to stuff that foot in there. Okay. Hey, Virginia. Why would I want to glue the top? I don't want to glue the top because I want to be able to put it on the elf. Okay. All right, there we go. Yes, Dee Dee, we are doing that. So I started on this one, and then I decided I need to let my glue dry, cool down a little bit. So I'm just trying to get that stuffed up in there. As much as I can. Get some more. Okay. That should be about right. Okay. So while this one's drying, let's go on and see if we can do this. So I'm imagining that I'm just going to have to stuff it in here. I think it's working. Well, you could do the same thing for your witches if you wanted to make a witch. You could do the same thing for a witch. Yay, it worked. Okay, so if there's any spaces, Mary, this is alive. It's part of it. You can always watch the replay and fast forward through the parts you don't want to watch. If there's any spaces, I'm just going to take some batting and just stick the batting into those spaces to just fill them in a little bit. I am, Doris. Oh my goodness, Dee Dee, I've never had that, but I keep seeing it everywhere. I want to try it. That looks pretty good, actually. All right, so let me show you. This is where we're at. It's looking good. Okay, let's get the other foot done. So we got to stuff the toe first. Thank you, Chrissy. Let me get some more. Okay, and I know that on this one, the heel needed a little bit of batting. So I'm going to go on and just stuff this into the heel. All right, and then we'll just stuff his foot in there. Wow, Dee Dee, that's awesome. Okay, I think his foot's in there. Thank you, Brenda. Okay, all right, we're good. Okay, so I'm going to glue the shoe onto the leg here. So we're just going to take some glue and just go around and just make sure that's glued down. That way it doesn't come off. So just taking a little bit of hot glue and just kind of going around. And it doesn't have to look super taut or anything. Whoopsie daisies. But I would just want to make sure that it's not going to come undone. So I'm going to go in a little bit further down into the shoe. I'd love to try it, Dee Dee. All right. Okay. So now that we've got that, I want to do the zigzag around the shoe, around the top of the shoe, just like we did on the collar right here. We're going to do it on the top of the shoe. So let's see here. It's big enough. And this is going to be smaller. Find a piece that's going to be the right size here. Use this. Thank you, Brenda. All right. So we're going to go about 1.5 inches here. Okay. And again, we'll just cut triangles. These triangles are going to have to be smaller. going to be so stinking cute. Thanks, Lynn. Thank you all. Y'all are so sweet. Okay. All right. Got lots of little triangles. Little triangle confetti. I could, Larissa. Okay. Oh my goodness, y'all. Okay, so this is just gonna wrap all the way around, and it's gonna be just perfect. Love it. Okay, so I'm just gonna glue. I'm starting in the back, and I'm overlapping, coming above the top of the shoe a little bit, just to give it a little bit of a more clean edge. Thank you, Larissa. It's funny, Lynn. That's what Larissa was just saying about the triangles. Okay. Let's cut this off. I hope that piece is long enough to go around the next one. How cute. Okay, please be long enough. Oh my goodness, you're just perfect. It's just perfect. Uh-oh. That would be my husband calling me. He wants me to answer. Do y'all mind? Hang on just a minute. Hello, I'm live. I'm live. Say hello to everybody. Hello, everybody, he says. Okay. All right, love you. Bye. Thank you, Dee Dee. All right. Here we go. Okay. So cute. So cute. So cute. So cute. Okay. So we got to make this even better. We're getting there. It's really coming together. So let's do the face, and then we got a few more embellishments to do. But I don't even really know what to do for the face. So I need to look at other elf faces because I don't know what to do. Okay, so let me see what I can find. So simple dot eyes. There are, I sort of forgot about the hair. It's a little too late for that. We need just like a little pom-pom or something for the nose. So this is a bald elf. I have that, but that's not quite. This is yellow. Like that's the closest I have to working for the nose. And then there's just really pretty simple, just a simple mouth. I mean, some of them are elaborate, but for the most part, they are pretty simple. Some of them just have like a tiny little bit of hair, just like right here. So we can maybe do that, but there are some that do not have any hair. Although most of them do have a little bit of hair. That one does not have any hair. All right. So we're going to keep it simple. So this nose is, I think, what we're going to do for the nose. Let's grab some Distress ink to do some rosy cheeks. I'm going to start with my spun sugar. I like to start lighter and then go up darker, so we can go up to the lipstick, the worn lipstick. So the nose is going to go right there, so the cheeks are going to be about right here. I mean, that doesn't look like it even did anything. All right, let's go on up to the worn lipstick. This one's not going to show up enough. Okay. There we go. All right. So there's our cheeks. Okay, and we'll do the nose. I'm going to go on and just glue this on. For my nose. All right, and then we'll just do some simple dot eyes with paint for the mouth, or for the eyes, and then simple, just paint the mouth on. Okay, so let me grab right. So I'm just going to take a big brush. Let me test this first. Okay. All right. Simple. That did not work. Okay, simple eyes. And then we'll just do paint on a little mouth. So I'm just going to grab a small brush. It's going to be precise, like this one. No, I didn't make the doll form. The doll form's available on our website, and it's currently an additional 15% off. Let's do this one. All right. Mary, I just used a pom-pom. These pom-poms I actually got at Dollar Tree a while back. They're sort of more like wool pom-poms. They have an interesting texture to them. Okay. For the mouth. All right, I'm just going for it. Trying to make that flat so that he needs a name. So give me your name suggestions in the comments. What do y'all think we should name him? Okay. trying to think about what I could use for hair. Nothing is coming to me. Might have, let me look. I don't think I do. Nope. All I can think about is rope. I don't have any yarn that would be right. But I could possibly take some rope. And cut it to make like a fringe. Like this. Spreading it apart. That's really all I can think of.
Mama?
Yeah, baby.
Can I have a couple or one? Whatever they're called.
You're gonna have to be more specific, son.
Wait.
You need to eat something a little bit more substantial. You've got football practice.
Well, I need that piece of chicken.
Chicken. Oh, yeah. But you need to eat something else. Like some fruit or some vegetables or something like that.
If I have a can of oranges, can I have some?
Huh?
If I have a can of oranges, can I have some?
No.
Why?
This.
You said fruit.
I know, but I didn't say eat the fruit and then eat the cookies.
Oh, so I can't have cookies?
Right. All right, I'm going to pull this off of the head just a little bit. So I can just kind of stick that in there and see what that looks like. So I'm just taking a piece. I know, I don't have any curly doll hair. And then just spreading it apart. This is a little bit curly. It's more kinky, kind of like my hair. And sticking it up in there. And y'all can tell me, do we like this or do we not like it? Cute, Joan. I think I might like it. We'll just do different little pieces of it, and I'm just kind of unraveling one end. So that I can stick it up in there. Okay, so there's the hair. What do y'all think? Is that okay? Do we like that? Y'all like it? All right. So I'll just take my hat then and just peel it back and add some more hot glue just right up underneath and then just glue it back down. All right, y'all, we are almost done. I've gotten more done today than I thought I would. We just got to get the embellishments on. Okay. Ralph would be cute. Lots of cute name suggestions. All right. So here is what he's looking like. So we just need to get some more embellishments on. So I'm gonna grab pom-poms. I'm gonna grab bells. I don't think I have enough bells that I could do all the way around the shoes. But let me see. I think I only have bigger bells. So I need to find those bells. I don't know for sure where they are. Here they are. Yeah. Okay, so I do not have little bells that I see. I've got these bells here. I didn't do hair on the back of his head, just bangs. So I've got this bell that we can do on the tip of his shoe. And I have 2 of those. So that'll work well for the end of his shoe. You can do that. Okay, did I get 2? Well, I had 2. I put 1 back. Okay, there's 2. All right. Then we can get pom-poms and we can do pom-poms. So we can get a big pom-pom to put on his hat. And I have got a couple of different styles. I have these right here, which are really furry. And we can do that on his hat. I also have these that are just more like a regular style. And we can do that on the top of his hat. So I don't know which one. I'm crazy, Judy. I don't know which one I like. Then we can do pom-poms possibly on his here on the little collar. So we can either do, I've got white and I have red. I don't have any lime green, so it's got to be white or red, and it's got to be tinsel, because that's what I got. So I'm thinking red. And we'll put these here. Oh my goodness. All right, so let's start with that. And we're just gonna take these and put these on the tip of all the little triangles. Which is adorable. So y'all are all saying the furry. So there's that for the collar. Okay, and then let's see how it looks on the shoes. I just want to make sure they're not too big on the shoes, but I don't think they are. I think they're perfect. So we'll add those. Okay. There we go. Cute. All right, let's do this one. Y'all, this has turned out so cute. I still haven't done the buttons, Larissa. I need to do the buttons. I wanted to see also what pom-poms looked like because I didn't think about pom-poms yesterday. But at some point after my live, I thought about pom-poms. So I still need to do that. Okay. All right. Now we'll do the bells on the tops of his feet. And I'm really mad because I feel like the best way to do this is to just sew them on. So I'm going to wait on that. I want to see about, let's do the hat. Let's do the pom-pom on the hat. And then I got to decide also about, I might want to do pom-poms here on the hat. The only reason why I am feeling no on this pom-pom is because I can't really get it. This one here, I can spread it apart and I can get the top of the hat inside the pom-pom. So it just kind of becomes one, where the fur one, I can't. So I think I'm going to do this style just because I think it's going to look better in the end. And so I can just stick it and I can kind of hide the tip of the hat in the top of the pom-pom. And it's going to also keep it from falling over because if I do this one, I have to almost just stick it to the front. So, okay. Now, let's talk about the buttons. I wanted to try the pom-poms. They might be too much. Thought if we did these red pom-poms. Let me find the red buttons. So that's the red pom-poms. Can you all tell? And then here's the red buttons that we were looking at. Okay, I think I like the buttons better. So let's go with it. We'll add the buttons on. Okay. Buttons are on. Now I want to see if I want to do pom-poms on the hat or is it too much? Do I just want to leave it as is? I want to leave it as is. It's going to be too much. All right. So all we have left to do, I think, is our bells, and our little elf is complete. Yes, Mary, we did stuff the hat. All right, let's do it. I'm dreading it, but let's do it. I don't have, y'all, I don't sew, we know this, so I really don't keep much thread around. So I've got this gray here, we'll use it. Oh, I should probably get out a needle. Okay. Let me find a needle. Bernie, that's a cute name. That might be too big. That is tiny. Okay. Let's see if we can do this. Oh, don't laugh. Me trying to get this in here. I don't have any of those fancy needle threaders. Okay. We're in there. This is the way my granny always taught me, is to double it and then make a knot in the end. Anything I know about sewing, which is very little, I learned from my granny, who loved to sew, and she made dolls when she sewed. Richie, that's cute. Okay, so I'm going to go through the end here, which is going to be a little on the tough side because of this hot glue. So is this even going to work? Back through the... I literally hate sewing, y'all. I hate it. I'm sure I'm not doing something right. Okay, I'm gonna go one more time. That's a problem. My thread just broke. What in the heck? That goes to show you this thread is probably 50 years old. And I say that because a lot of my sewing stuff belonged to my granny. All right, well, I might as well do this again just in case. All right. I'm gonna I'm going to knot it now. Okay. Thank you, Paula. Jingles is a cute name. I don't love the placement of the bell because I couldn't get it right on the top. So it's kind of doing something a little funky, but whatever. He'll be fine. Okay, let's do the other side. Yeah, there's no telling, seriously, how old this thread is or where it came from. Ernie, y'all are coming up with some cute names. Okay. This is going to be good enough. All right. It's just so delicate sewing is. Like, separate, please. So I can tie you up. All right. Put the needle away. Holy moly. Don't want to get that in my foot. All right. I think it's done. I'm going to grab a lint roller and get all the lint and the pieces of hot glue off. Naming Griffin. Down it goes. All right, I got to do the back, but here is how he turned out. What do we think? Do y'all like him? I think he turned out pretty cute. I don't super love his face, but I think he turned out cute. He's not bad. Not bad at all. I like his little vest. All right. Here we go. So he's all done. Y'all, 15% off, an additional 15% off today on all of the doll forms. not all of the doll forms. We only have one style of doll form. It's a 27 inch. As you can see, he's nice and big. You can make gingerbread men, snowmen, nutcrackers. You can do witches, Santa, scarecrow, all kinds of things. We put Distress ink on his cheeks, Charlotte. So, all right, y'all. Well, I got to get off of here. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope y'all enjoyed this. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye, everybody.